the introduction. I prefer the Hebrew, so that's where we're going to go. That's when you turn the page. Don't be frightened by it. I made it as big as I could. And it's a strange font. I usually don't use it, but that's all I had available to me here in New York. So this is the beginning of volume 1 of Likutei Halachot by Rabbi Natan, and it's based on the Torah that we were just now beginning to learn. And he repeats the entire thing at the beginning, but before that he enters with the first entry in the Shulchan Aruch. Yidgaber ka'ari la'amod b'boker. One should be strong and strengthen oneself like a lion, to stand up in the morning, la'avodat bor'o, for the service of his Creator, she'ehu me'orer ha'shachar, that we, you and I, we should wake up the dawn, get up earlier, and that's the most beautiful time of the day to start one's service of Hashem. I know in the West, this is an Eastern teaching. In the East, you go to sleep early and you get up early. This is the way of the Mikubalim, is to go to sleep early and get up early. The way of the West is to go to sleep late and to get up late. Okay, but you should know at least that there is another way. Once I was in Tzfat, and there was an interesting thing. Of all places, it happened in Tzfat, that there was on the radio, they were talking about a bus driver who fell asleep at the wheel on the way to Eilat. And they were talking about sleep patterns and how people sleep and the best time to sleep, and when the best sleep is when the rapid eye movement is strongest, is the first part of the night. And so they were saying that it's very, very, very bad to have a television on while you're going to sleep, or a radio. Can you imagine people doing this? This radio blaring in their ears while they're going to sleep? It's taking away any possibility of restorative sleep. And they don't understand this. They probably say, well, I can't fall asleep. Well, it's ridiculous, because it's an uneducated idea. So the most restorative sleep is the first part of the night. And then I was listening to this in Tzfat on the radio, and it just so happens that the whole of Tzfat, all of the Ari, everything that the Ari represented, who he taught in Tzfat, and it's based on the Zohar, which was taught in Tzfat and lived in Tzfat, was get up before midnight. Get up before midnight and say certain prayers, and if possible, stay up all night and pray with the dawn. Well, of course, in order to do that, you have to really know how to do it. You can't just destroy your days. You have to do it the right way. So what they did is they went to sleep fairly early. And it's a different way of life. So that is the way of the East. Israel's in the Middle East. It's slight in the middle, but it's slightly to the east. So I bless you all in Brooklyn to start moving east. Okay? Go to sleep earlier, wake up earlier. So now we enter into the words of Rabbi Natan. Does anybody lack a text? And again, I want you to follow with your fingers. It's much better. Then we can refer to it, and then we can talk, and you'll get much more out of it. It's a wonderful text. So, with Hashem's help, and with a prayer that we can truly get everything we want to get and we need from this. And it's such an important time to be able to get these ideas. To be able to live harmoniously, to function into inside and out in a space of holiness, vis-a-vis other people, vis-a-vis ourselves, to strengthen and empower the power of holiness within us, so the other aspects of our personality, which in a sense try and pull us down, instead we pull them up. We begin to transcend and embrace and become whole. Right? There is a force of divisiveness within us, just as it exists within society. So we are all obviously reflections of that. And when we begin to fix the inside, then perhaps, wouldn't it be possible that maybe things would get better between people? It's a Jungian principle, but it's Jewish. Okay. Afapi shi'asa ma shi'asa. After Rabbi Natan repeats what Rabbi Nachman said, that even the person who's done not good things, But if we judge them on the scale of merit, or we judge ourselves on the scale of merit, then we can bring them to the side of good. We can bring ourselves to the good. So he goes now, and this applies whatever a person has done, upagam mashabagam, and blemished whatever they blemished. But by virtue of judging a person in the scale of merit, meaning to say looking at their good, it changes. That person will be taken away or taken out of the scale of guilt, and enter into the scale of merit in truth. And it will be through this that this person can now even believe that they can get close to God. Because if you don't believe it, if you don't believe you're good, which is the problem psychologically with the person who's done bad. Things we were learning in Manhattan on Shavuos from the Ari are along the same lines. The Yetzer Hara tries to convince us what is the Yetzer Hara. And I like to define things. I don't like to just throw around words. The inner adversary. There's something that Hashem saddled us with, some negative force. And our job is to overcome it and transform it, and to harness its power for the good. Like it says in the Shema, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha, right? With both of your hearts. The levavcha. It doesn't say libcha. So the both aspects of our personality, that's the power, is where the negative stuff was. That's our ability to get closer to God than if we had been created so-called perfect. The tshuva process is to find the energy in the seemingly negative part of myself that is the power and the energy and the fuel to become even better than if I had been created perfect. I'll say it a few times during the class and it'll be clear. The zebechinat, and this is this thing in the Psalm 37, ve'od mat ve'en rasha. And if you find just a little bit of good, then there will be no wicked man. Al yedei oto od me'at, is through that little bit of good. Shisham eino rasha, in that little place where that person is not bad. Al yedei ze v'idbonanta, it'll be through this that you will contemplate and reflect upon that person's place, but they won't be there. Through this a person can actually can rejoice. And can daven. I will sing to God with my ode, with the little bit of good that I find in myself. So it's a little bit squished in here. There's a few ideas that are going on at the same time. Certainly the essence here is the ability to neutralize the negative thoughts that come to us. So it's a really important teaching from the Baal Shem Tov and Rabbi Nachman, the two of them more than any others, that negative thoughts will very often come to us when we're either about to make a breakthrough or when we've just made a breakthrough. And those old negative things will come up and say, it's not real. It's not going to happen. And so that kind of brings us down. And who can be happy? Who can pray? Who can? I mean, if you know the secret of prayer, that's exactly when you should talk to God. Hashem, please give me a chance. Help me. I've been saddled with this negative force. The way you made me is a little bit hard. But if I call out on you, I really hope that you'll help me manage this other part of myself. And on the contrary, make myself be more powerful in my good with this negative thing that you gave me. But that's talking to God, right? He's the ultimate psychologist and psychoanalyst. That's the meaning here of lehitpalel. The palel is self-reflective, which means I become aware of what's going on inside of me. That's the real meaning of tefillah and pilul. Pilul is Yaakov Avinu's